Hey everyone, it's Ace. Welcome back to another video. The same person who dug up the SBMM leaks the other week when all hell broke loose has now dug up some new unfortunate leaks that I have to report for you guys. I was actually saving this video for tomorrow and it was supposed to be something very cool, but I have to report this to you guys because it's so important for the future of Battlefield 6, especially the way community feels about server browser. What this person has dug up is that server browser is for now only in Portal, and we're gonna go more into detail throughout the video, and we're gonna go over what David Sirland has said, which left clues about server browser not being in Battlefield 6, at least not in the playtest. My name is Ace, welcome back to another video. I post 2 to 3 Battlefield videos a week. If you're a Battlefield player, then consider subscribing because I'm gonna be covering Battlefield 6 news, everything Battlefield 6 related, and playing, of course, all the Battlefield games that I can play on my time when I'm active. If you're a regular subscriber, as usual, thank you so much for watching. Let's get into the leaks. Here's what the guy said. I checked every playtest reference, link, and related parts of the UI pointing from the existing server browser to something or vice versa. For now, it's a portal feature, just like in Battlefield 2042, and not part of the main multiplayer section. This is the part which we were all dreading to hear. And he continues, no matter if you look at the sorting mechanisms which rely on Portal server links, UI setup still Portal or even naming of elements. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the server browser, at least now, is not in the playtest. Now, I know what people might think, and I was thinking about the same thing when I was editing this video for you guys. I mean, this could just be placeholder, right? They said that a lot of things which is in Battlefield is placeholder. The UI is the placeholder, the sound's the placeholder, this and that. We've heard it all. Wouldn't you think that something as important as server browser would be immediately tested on the first couple of playtests to see if the goddamn thing even works in the first place? From the very first images I saw of the first Battlefield Labs playtest, I saw pictures of matchmaking being in place. And since that was just the first playtest, I thought it's just a placeholder like everything else was, and it's gonna remain that way. But it's now the third, the fourth playtest, it's still matchmaking. Then we have the leak about the SBMM that happened last week when all hell broke loose, and SBMM only works in matchmaking, guys. I mean, it's in the name, skilled-based matchmaking. It's not skilled-based server browsers. It's not SB, right? It's kind of funny name, actually, SB, whatever. When I saw that, that assured me even further that we are never gonna get, at least not in matchmaking, like the multiplayer mode, any type of a server browser. Then what pushed me even further into belief that we're not going to be getting a server browser is then the message from David Sirland himself. He kind of ousted himself a little bit. He said, if you guys remember that week, he said, 2042 has SBMM according to this definition. This is what I tried to detail above yesterday. It has a skill factor, it is used, but ping and time to game is top priority. And in a 64-player game, our want is to spawn a server that starts as soon as possible. So you see, I mean, he says it right there. Their whole priority as developers for, grouping people together is to spawn a server fast as possible. But you cannot do this with, persistent servers. I mean, this is just then fake temporary servers, just like we have in, where? Battlefield 2042. And if this was a placeholder, then I think he would have said it right there to people, hey, don't worry about it, we're not going to have SBM, guys, because we're not going to have matchmaking, we're going to have server browser. So why in the fucking hell would we ever test matchmaking when we're going to go away? So there's definitely going to be matchmaking in multiplayer, at least in the playtest. Now, of course, this is DICE, and just yesterday they were also saying how, they're happy we are recognizing values returning to them and blah, blah, blah. Well, how about the value of you returning the server browser, which is what everybody wants, man. We don't want matchmaking. It sucks. So we've had it in Delta Force, we have it in the other game, what's it called, Call of Duty, and all these games, they're all the fucking same, that are even mixing up their names now. We want server browser. People want to play with their friends. People want to have their servers. And no, we don't want it to be on Portal. Nobody fucking gives a fuck about Portal. I'm sorry. I like Portal, I like the idea, but we are here to play multiplayer on launch day and not Portal. And we want to have persistent servers. Is this so much to ask from EA and DICE? From a company that's been doing server browsers forever. I mean, it's kind of, isn't that ironic? I mean, Battlefield 2042 is the first real matchmaking game that Battlefield had. And it's the one which failed colossally. Now listen, Battlefield 5 had matchmaking as well. It had server browsers, but it was hidden. You had to go to list games, and you know the drill. I'm not going to explain this to you. But it was the first instance of them trying matchmaking, but they were still worried a little bit, in my opinion, of what's going to be the backlash if they completely remove server browser. So they, put it under, 5 menus and hope that you're not going to notice it. So they're going to slip MM in Battlefield 2042, which is exactly what they did. And I'm thinking they're probably trying something similar here, but I think this is the part where we just need to unite, just like we did against SBMM, and, you know, just demand a server browser. Luckily, most people I know, most of my friends, most of the people on Reddit want to have a server browser. Now listen, there is also negatives to the server browser as well, but I think the negatives of the server browser outweigh the positives of matchmaking. The only positives of matchmaking is that I'm not going to face admin abuse from some shitty servers. But, you know, if I'm playing the game in the first year of its launch, I'm not going to deal with an admin abuse. There's going to be so many servers. You know, I don't care if some admin who has 1 KD is kicking me because I'm killing him in a tank or something, you know? I don't give a fuck. I have a question for everybody who played Battlefield 2042 from start to finish. How many people have you actually added on Battlefield 2042? How many communities have you formed during the life cycle of Battlefield 2042? How many Discord servers have you joined? How many people have you met? If any of you tell me it's over 10, you're lying. I'm sorry. Like, I have not met a single person playing Battlefield 2042. I don't know anybody who met a single person while playing Battlefield 2042. And no, it's not because the game is dead. It's not because the game is bad. No, it's because the game doesn't have a server browser and there's literally no reason at all to add friends, to have a clan, to have a platoon. There's not even platoons. I mean, nobody, you know, they don't care about those things. So the server browser would bring those things back. You know, the other day I was talking about platoons being back in the game, if you guys remember, on a video. I don't know which video it was. I'm going to find it and I'm going to put it in the video description so you guys can watch it. There I said very enthusiastically, server browsers, you know, are coming back with platoons and whatever, which means platoons are going to be able to host their own servers, you know. I don't know, you know, TBG clan 24/7 locker server or whatever. Well, guess what? Now they're not going to be doing that. They're going to be doing TBG 24/7 stock in matchmaking and then joining half-empty goddamn lobbies. That's going to be the server name those boys are going to be having if there is no server browser. You know, don't even bother bringing the platoons back if there's no server browser. Like, I don't give a fuck about the platoons if I don't have a server browser. I'm not going to be making the platoon. My platoon is going to be named, I'm going to be the only person in my platoon, and it's going to be named Bring the Server Browser Back. That's going to be the name of my platoon, guys. If you want to join that platoon, I'll leave a link in the description when the game is out, and then you guys can join my platoon if there's matchmaking. And if there isn't, then, hey, you can remember that I was the one who was wanting to create that platoon so we can, you know, fight together. Yeah, guys, jokes aside, this is obviously horrific news. I mean, what is happening to the Battlefield 6 leaks, man? We all started so good. Now we're hearing SBMM. Now we're hearing no server browser. We're hearing this, and that. Yeah, it's... I don't know, man. I'm starting to get some mixed vibes here, man. And it sucks, you know, because this is literally the last hope for gaming. You know, at least we got rid of SBMM, I guess. So if the game's gonna have matchmaking, it's not gonna be an SBMM. Hooray! Yeah. If you like this video, then please leave a like and a subscription and a comment. I've actually, especially for this, went out of bed so I can record this for you guys. It was supposed to be a very good video tomorrow about something completely different. Instead, I had to do this crap because it's just something that needs to be said. So yeah, if you're new here, then leave a subscription as well, because like I said, I'll be posting videos very often of every type of Battlefield game. So I'll see you next time. Bye bye, take it easy.